Good day all and welcome once again to my channel. This time we are going to be having a video lesson on nuclear chemistry. Alright, so this video will be part one video. We are still going to be having other videos on this nuclear chemistry. Now when we talk about nuclear chemistry, we are to take our minds to a particular kind of reaction that is called nuclear reaction. Nuclear reaction. As opposed to chemical reactions that is common with students. Nuclear reactions, they are simply reactions that involves the nucleus of an atom. All right. Remember that an atom is like a sphere with a centrally located positively charged nucleus, while the electrons are found orbiting around the nucleus, just like how the planets revolve around the sun. All right. That's according to Ernest Rutherford. Now, what constitutes the nucleus of an atom is actually what? The proton and neutron. So the proton and the neutron makes up the nucleus of an atom. So when we say nuclear reactions, we are simply referring to reactions that occur within the nucleus of an atom. So these kind of reactions, they are not involved by the electrons. The electrons are not involved in it. It is actually the protons and the neutrons that are involved. The electrons are only involved in chemical reactions, talking about the valence electrons of elements. All right. So what are involved in nuclear reactions? You come across a question. It is actually the proton and the neutrons that makes up the nucleus. So any reaction that takes place within the nucleus of an atom is called nuclear reactions. All right. And it is not all elements that carry out such reactions. What elements are able to carry out nuclear reactions? Now, that would now lead us to what is known as radioactivity. Radioactivity. What is radioactivity? Radioactivity simply is the spontaneous emission of radiation by the disintegration of unstable nucleus of an element. It is the spontaneous emission of radiation. Now, the radiation can come in the form of particles while releasing energy. And when we talk about the radiations, there are three kinds of radiations that a radioactive element can emit. And what are these radiations? We have the alpha, we have the beta, and we have the gamma. All right. So these are the radiations that a radioactive element can emit. All right. Alpha radiation, beta radiation, or gamma radiation. All right. Among the three radiations here, there are two that exist as particles. So you can call this alpha particle, beta particle, but you cannot call it gamma particle. Why? Because it remains radiation. It is an example of electromagnetic wave, so it does not emit particles. Of course, when alpha is released or alpha radiation is released, what is associated with it is helium nucleus, which is 4 2. Then what is associated with beta particle is electron, which is 0 - 1. Then why this one is just an ordinary ray. Now, if you take your mind to isotopy, it tends to show you that there might be the existence of a particular element having differences in its mass number but having the same proton or atomic number. Let's take a case study. Carbon. We have carbon 12, we have carbon 13, and we have carbon 14 to be the isotopes of carbon. Now, the one that is characterized by unstable nucleus is actually the carbon 14. Why? It is seen to be radioactive. All right. Then while this one is very, very stable. So generally, I can as well just say that anything that talks about radioactivity is related to the emissions that you get or the radiations that you get from the disintegration of unstable nucleus of elements in the process of releasing particles or energy, or they might just be both released in the process. One very important thing that you need to take cognizance of about nuclear reactions and chemical reactions is that nuclear reactions release an enormous amount of energy when compared to chemical reactions. Chemical reactions, both reactions dey release energy, but the one that releases the larger or an enormous amount of energy is nuclear reaction. And as a matter of fact, the energy that is generated by the sun is actually generated from nuclear reaction. So in our next video, we'll look at the different kinds of nuclear reactions, talking about the nuclear fission and the nuclear fusion. Then you tend to understand better of what nuclear reactions entails. Do well to hit the subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe, because there are more that are yet to be dropped in this channel. Invite your friends so as for them to benefit also. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.